I guess it was about 12 years ago, we had a widow walk into our office. She had recently lost her husband unexpectedly at the age of 58. When she first started meeting with our team, it became apparent very soon that she had no idea what accounts they had, what the will said. She could not even find documents, and she was literally digging through her drawers at home, trying to figure out what her financial life was going to look like. At our firm, we insist that when we're doing a financial plan, we will not conduct a financial review with the client unless both spouses are present and involved in the process. What people don't realize is that about 90% of the time, it's going to be the women that are going to be running the financial household. And unfortunately, a lot of women don't feel they have the confidence to actually make those wise financial planning decisions. And that's why financial planning is just so much more critical for the woman than it actually is for the man. There's a lot of topics we don't want to discuss when it comes to financial planning, whether it's divorce, disability, or even death. But that's why it's so important for women to be able to answer the questions such as, is my Social Security set up not just for my husband, but for me? The pensions, the will. What does the will say if something happens to my husband? Do I have the ability to control assets? Do I have the legal documents already in place to make sure that I can control my own financial future? There are so many questions that need to be answered to make sure that women have confidence in their financial situation. Generally, women tend to worry more about money. Women tend to be more conservative, and unfortunately, women tend to avoid conflict when it comes to the financial planning process. If you are a conservative person, you want to make sure that you do not have a portfolio that is susceptible to major losses for the next market correction, whether it's 20, 30, 40%, which is why women need to be open and honest, not only with their spouse, but their advisor when it comes to financial planning. Make sure that portfolio is at a risk that you are comfortable with. My wife Jamie and I started Cyr Financial over 20 years ago, and it was pretty early on that Jamie said, we need to make this easy for people. The typical process, there's some investment guy, and then you walk across the street and there's another person who's helping with life insurance and auto and home and disability. And then we have to go across town for that CPA because he's kind of managing the tax situation. And this all seems like a big mess and it's complicated, and why can't this just be under one roof? So Jamie and I have a firm that has CPAs, licensed insurance professionals, financial planners, investment advisors, and it's one phone number to call, it's one office to walk into, it's one team to work with. That was one of the things that she wanted to offer our clients. The second thing was having an advisor that speaks clearly. If you're not understanding what your advisor is saying to you, then you need to either ask the question to clarify or find an advisor that you can understand. Thirdly, you have to have an advisor who is going to listen to both spouses. I think this is important and is often something that gets overlooked. One final thing that is probably the most important is to work with a fiduciary. A lot of people don't know what that means, but in essence, a fiduciary is a financial advisor which by law is doing what is best for you at all times. That means they're not selling you investment products and making commissions. It means they're not selling you insurance products and making commissions. It means that it's a person who is taking care of your best interests.